6:30 p.m. on Channel 96 View TV 6. Created by the legendary chef Gordon Ramsay. 9 home cooks sharpen their knives, tie their aprons and battle it out. Cookery combat under extreme pressure. Amateur cooks go through rigorous challenges. Bust a gut to impress celebrity chefs from around the world.
Good luck.
Who can stand the heat of the kitchen? Who can take home a cash prize and earn the coveted title of Culinary Genius? Sunday night at 8 on View TV 6. Add the perfect amount of glamour to your Chinese New Year celebration. Asia's leading television award is back with a myriad of stars and internationally acclaimed talents, including representatives from View TV. Gathered in Sarawak, Malaysia, look forward to taking home the prestigious award.
And the winner is
23rd Asian Television Awards, February 5th, Tuesday noon at 12 on View TV 6.
Welcome back. As the Philippines reels from one of the deadliest attacks in recent years, Manila is now blaming an affiliate of the militant group Abu Sayyaf for the twin bombings that claimed at least 20 lives and injured more than 100 others. Grace Lee reports.
Philippine security forces blame an affiliate of militant group Abu Sayyaf for a deadly church attack over the weekend. More specifically, authorities said it was orchestrated by a faction called Ajang, a group that's notorious in the region for kidnapping and extortion. Police say Ajang carried out the attack as revenge for the deaths of relatives killed during military operations against Abu Sayyaf. The bombing on Saturday killed at least 20 people and injured over 100. It was one of the deadliest attacks in recent years, hitting Jolo, a predominantly Muslim island in the south. It also came just days after a referendum on autonomy in the region, in which residents voted overwhelmingly yes. Reuters' Martin Petty says that was widely seen as a step towards ending decades of violence.
This is a minority Muslim area of a predominantly Catholic country. They wanted self-determination for quite some time. There was a long and violent armed struggle by the separatists, and now they'll be leading the transition to a new government. I don't think anybody's under any illusion that this is a magic wand, but the hope is that this will lead to more investment in infrastructure, education, healthcare, more jobs creation, and ultimately settle the violence by solving the grievances that have led to the banditry, to the crime, to the recruitment by extremist groups.
Authorities say the group outsmarted law enforcement authorities and were able to pull off the attack despite tightened security for the referendum. Many are worried it will inspire other groups to do more.
After weeks of controversy and accusations of anti-Semitism, Malaysia has been stripped of hosting a Paralympic swimming championship. The decision, ironically announced on Holocaust Remembrance Day, came after Kuala Lumpur decided to ban all Israeli athletes from competing. Melanie Ralph reports from Singapore.
Yes, well, the decision to strip Malaysia of this event just 6 months out probably won't come as much of a surprise to the international community, given the controversy over the past few weeks. Malaysia's government was widely condemned for banning Israeli athletes from the 2020 Paralympics qualifier due to what it called Israel's poor treatment of Palestinians. Now, at the time, Israel condemned the ban as shameful and saying the decision was inspired by Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad's rabid anti-Semitism. And the International Paralympic Committee said it had little choice but to act as soon as Malaysia crossed the line of mixing politics with a global sporting event. Now, 93-year-old Mahathir has for decades been accused of anti-Semitism for his attacks against Jews. In a BBC interview last October, he described Jews as hook-nosed and blamed them for the troubles in the Middle East. It's also been reported that he called Israelis crooks by comparing them to predecessor Najib Razak, who is facing dozens of criminal charges over the 1MDB financial scandal. The IPC is now searching for a new host country, while Malaysian media says the government has no regrets about the way it acted.
Venezuela's embattled president is hitting back as international support for a regime change gains momentum. Nicolas Maduro decided to flex his military muscles in response to calls for fresh elections. That show of force included Maduro personally taking part in the display of the country's Russian-built hardware, including tanks and anti-aircraft machines. He faces an unprecedented challenge to his authority in the form of opposition leader Juan Guaido. The West has said it would recognize Guaido if Maduro failed to call fresh elections within 8 days. That's a deadline he's rejected entirely.
We are preparing for the most important military exercises in 200 years. The most important because we're going to set the tone for our armed systems, our military forces and operational readiness, so that no one even dares to think about touching our sacred ground. Venezuela wants peace, Venezuela needs peace and aims to guarantee peace.
Despair is turning to anger in Brazil, where answers are being demanded from the mining company behind a deadly dam collapse. This is the second catastrophe in a matter of years involving Vale SA. At least 58 people were killed in this rupture, although officials say a remaining dam at the site is no longer at risk of bursting. Pascal Davies has the latest.
The search for the hundreds missing after a dam collapsed in Brazil has resumed. 24,000 people were evacuated on Sunday after a second dam in the same community risked giving way. However, that warning was later called off. On Friday, a dam at an iron mine collapsed, devastating the mine itself and a local town. Scores of people have been killed and hundreds more are feared dead. The dam's rupture on Friday released a torrent of mining waste that cut through a nearby community, leaving an 150-metre-wide trail of destruction.
I saw a noise up there. I wondered what it was. It was like a strong rain slamming down. When I came down, I saw that there was a mountain of trees, water crashing down, trees toppling over. It was then that I saw it was the dam.
This is not the first major disaster linked to the miner's owner, a corporation called Vale SA. 3 years ago, Brazil suffered the worst environmental catastrophe in its history when another dam burst at a mining project that Vale was partnered in and poured toxic waste into a river. 19 people were killed in that incident, but Friday's dam collapse has proved deadlier than that.
Time now for sports. Well, let's start with tennis because Novak Djokovic is eyeing off Roger Federer's all-time Grand Slam record after his Australian Open triumph. The top seed was showing off the latest addition to his trophy cabinet earlier today. He's described his 6-3, 6-2, 6-3 demolition of Rafa Nadal as a truly perfect match. In the process, Djokovic also sets a new record, having now won 7 times at Melbourne Park. The victory is also his 15th Grand Slam title, moving him to 3rd in the all-time rankings. Federer sits in top spot with 20 championships, but Djokovic says he's as motivated as ever to chase that down.
And I'm not trying to think too much advance, but I do want to definitely focus myself on continuing to improve my game and maintaining the overall well-being that I have, mental, physical, emotional, so I would be able to compete at such a high level for the years to come and have a shot at eventually getting closer to Roger's record, but it's still far.
China is hitting back at explosive claims its star Olympian Sun Yang violated anti-doping rules. The UK Sunday Times claims Sun is facing a lifetime ban after he and a security guard smashed a sealed vial of blood last year, following a clash with anti-doping officials. China's Swimming Association has responded, calling the report fake news, adding that swimming's world governing body cleared Sun of any wrongdoing. At the time, the medalists said the doping testers did not show adequate proof of identification. In football, Tottenham have been knocked out of the FA Cup 4th round, although their manager seems unfazed. The Spurs fielded a second-string side against Crystal Palace and went down 2-0. Palace went ahead through Connor Wickham before a penalty by Andros Townsend doubled the lead against his old club. Spurs manager Mauricio Pochettino says they can now shift focus back to making the Champions League and improving the Premier League standing. All right, that's it for now. Join us again tomorrow for an update on the stories that are shaping your world. I'm Evelina Leung, and this is View TV News. Good night.
Coming up next, Wives with Knives Season 4. Invest wisely. Be an expert in risk management. To beat the market, market analysis is crucial. 24K Finance. Channel 96, View TV 6.
唔使識嘅毛係要識 Paracetamol 一直幫你止痛去熱，痛熱息。
On the 23rd of January, supermodel Doutzen Kroes celebrates her birthday. The blonde beauty was raised in a small town in the Netherlands. She originally wanted to become a professional speed skater. But at the age of 17, she started her career as a model in Amsterdam. Her agency quickly sent her to New York, where she was snapped up by lingerie giant Victoria's Secret. In 2005, she walked in the Victoria's Secret fashion show as an angel, and in 2015, after a decade with the company and walking in 8 shows, she announced her angel days were over. The model has appeared in numerous ad campaigns as well as on magazine covers. She even became the first model to appear on the cover of 4 international editions of Vogue in 1 month. Kroes is married to Dutch DJ Sunnery James, and the pair have 2 children, a daughter called Melina May and a son called Philin. So the proud mama is sure to have plenty of love around her on her big day. Happy birthday, Doutzen!
The world's most dynamic basketball league, NBA, continues. Big names. Down and throws it down! Wow! Big games. What a fool! And great action. Follow View TV's Game of the Week all the way to the postseason. The NBA, Houston Rockets versus Denver Nuggets. Saturday morning at 11. Exclusive free TV live coverage on Channel 99 View TV. More great international sporting events coming your way this year on View TV and View TV 6. No food.
Need some food.
No shelter.
I have to build up my shelter.
No fresh